Good
morning, friends from the media. Welcome to the 11 a.m. conference. Apart from the Chief Executive, the Secretary for Food and Health and also the Director of Leisure and Cultural Services are also present. The CE and also the Secretary will have some opening remarks before taking questions. Because of the epidemic, do observe social distancing measures and also wear your masks. The CE. Good morning, everyone. As said previously, within this week, the SL government will announce 3 areas where our community can resume to normal operation. And today I am talking about the 3rd area and relaxation of social distancing measures. Usually the social distancing measures are premises-based, and most of them are under CAP 599F, Prevention and Control of Disease, Business and Premises Regulation. But some social distancing measures are in place. They may not be within this regulation. Many of them are in premises being managed by the Leisure and Cultural Services Department. And therefore, with the Secretary for Food and Health and the Director of Leisure and Cultural Services, I'm here this morning to give an account of how these premises will see the measures relaxed in the first of 3 stages. Before I give the floor to the other 2 officials, I'd like to say a few overall remarks. First, any measure that enables Hong Kong to resume normal operation will inevitably bring risks of transmission. While the number of positive cases reported every day has dropped to a relatively low level, but in absolute terms, they are still on a rather high level. So to relax these measures to allow some degree of normal activities in society with more social interaction among citizens, inevitably that will come with some transmission risks. Having balanced different considerations, the SL government has decided on the following measures. So we must appeal to the public. At all circumstances, please comply with the social distancing measures still effective at the moment. And please be vigilant when it comes to infection control. Wear your masks properly. And from tomorrow onwards, we will have 4 days of Easter holidays. Let me appeal to the public once again. I hope everyone in Hong Kong can create favorable conditions for resumption to normal operations after the vacation. And of course, one of the things you can do is to be vaccinated, which is very effective in reducing or preventing serious conditions that will lower the need for hospital admission and hence alleviate the burden on our public healthcare system. Is not an easy decision. We have a whole team in the SL government. I myself share the team with the directors of bureaus, and then when we talked about Leisure and Cultural Services, Mr. Liu, the director, was present so that we can come up with a decision that is in the public interest. So we satisfy the need for infection control and to suit the needs of the community in terms of livelihood and everything. I have to admit that every decision cannot satisfy the demand of everyone in Hong Kong. So this is the first stage of social distancing relaxation, and I believe some premises operators will feel disappointed. Once a decision is made, it has to be executed, and in the process, we need to manage risks. And we have to have all the supporting measures, whether we talk about resumption of face-to-face classes by students and also resumption of flights to Hong Kong. in terms of medical supplies and disinfection of premises to increase the ventilation rate of premises and strict adherence to the vaccine pass are all necessary, and relevant departments will enhance enforcement upon relaxation of these measures. The most important thing of all is discipline on the part of members of the public. In the past 2 months or so, when the epidemic was raging, many business operations have been dealt a hard blow. Now, when we closed premises or prohibit evening dine-in, the purpose is not to penalize the operators. As I said, some of the premises have done an excellent job in infection control measures. However, the purpose of these measures is to reduce gatherings, to reduce circulation. Without those premises, people were less inclined to go out, and the number of trips made by members in the community was greatly reduced. I have taken a check. Some premises have been closed for over 200 days in the past 2 years, such as fitness center, 260 odd days, beauty parlor, 240 days, cinemas, over 260 days. Their operation has been dealt a very heavy blow. I must express my gratitude to all these premises during the very difficult period of more than 2 years. They have been very cooperative. We have to fight the pandemic. We must also support enterprises and keep employment. All in all, under the 3 major pillars, we have done a lot. For instance, the first pillar is very focused. We have the anti-epidemic fund. We have got 6 rounds helping different industries, providing relief to affected enterprises and individuals. We have spent $64.7 million in total. And the second pillar is to a number of counter-cyclical measures. In the recent budget, we spent $410 billion. We have got 2 rounds of ESS. In 2020, there was the ESS. We spent $91.5 billion. And on Tuesday, the Finance Committee of Council just approved the 2022 ESS. The money involved was $43 billion. We have spent over $600 billion of public money, equivalent to 20% of our GDP in the past 2 years. This goes to show that we are riding out the storm together with our enterprises. Supporting measures still in operation. That is, those who are still receiving applications will be processed as soon as possible with gradual relaxation of social distancing measures. Then these enterprises and their employees can then, under a much improved environment, revive their business. I now give the floor to the Secretary for Food and Health to explain to you the relaxation of social distancing measures.
Thanks very much. Chief Executive, good morning. On the 21st of March, the Chief Executive announced that starting from the 21st of April, the roadmap and the timetable for relaxation have been announced. Like the dine-in ban will be relaxed and the scheduled premises will be relaxed. It all depends on whether there is any rebound in COVID and whether there is a steady decline. Now, in terms of the pandemic, there is some steady decline. It has created the right condition for us to ease the social distancing restrictions and gradually to resume our economic activities. Starting from the 21st of April, next Thursday, we will start with the first phase of relaxation, and they are in relation
係盡快開始恢復正常生活嘅訴求。由於 Omicron 嘅傳播力咧係極高，咁所以咧我都希望咧都係要強調喺我哋嘅逐步放寬社交距離措施嘅同時咧，有關嘅處所咧亦都係必須嚴格咁去遵守適用嘅防疫抗疫嘅安排，從而咧係維持我哋社區嘅防控能力，並盡量咧係減低病毒喺社區內嘅傳播。當中咧包括當然我哋係喺過去2年都有不同嘅措施，而呢啲措施咧都係行之有效嘅，好似係人數或者係場地嘅容量限制啦，我哋最新有嘅疫苗通行證啦，要佩戴口罩啦，有安心出行啦，有量度體温啦，亦都有提供消毒潔手液、保持距離等等。當然喺食肆方面，尤其是咧，就係亦都係有換氣量喺法例上嘅要求。咁至於首階段適用於個別處所嘅具體限制咧，就住餐飲業務處所而言咧，有4點。第一係堂食咧時間咧係會延長至到晚上10時，亦都係恢復咧係晚市堂食。第二咧係同桌嘅顧客數目上限咧會由2人提升至到4人。第三，容許咧係唔超過20人嘅宴會活動。及第四係繼續關閉酒吧或者係酒館。考慮到需要加強餐飲業務處所嘅防疫抗疫安排咧，以配合上述對營業限制嘅放寬。咁所有嘅員工咧都係需要咧係每3天係進入處所之前咧係進行1次嘅快速抗原測試。咁至於表列處所，首階段咧我哋會重開嘅處所咧係包括第一係體育處所啦，係包括室內同埋戶外嘅一啲嘅場所。第二係健身中心。第三係美容院同埋咧係按摩院。第四係公眾娛樂場所，包括咧係表演場所啊、主題公園、博物館、展覽或者係博覽會、電影院、家庭娛樂中心等等。第五咧係遊樂場所，係例如好似桌球室啊、公眾保齡球場、公眾溜冰場啊。第六就係遊戲機中心。第七咧係一啲活動嘅場所，同埋咧係第八就係宗教處所。咁剛剛提到可以重開嘅表列處所咧，大致上咧都會係有一個4人一組，同埋咧係容納量嘅50% 嘅人數嘅限制嘅。咁我哋亦都會容許咧係對制運動，而整體而言咧，如果係非必要嘅話咧，例如好似進食啊，喺美容院接受面部護理啊，或者係作為宗教儀式嘅一部分等等咧，所有人喺呢啲處所入邊咧都必須咧係要佩戴口罩。咁講到佩戴口罩咧，我特別一提啦嚇，因為較早前其實我哋都喺個防疫服務包嗰度都派咗一啲 KN95 嘅口罩，咁呢度咧都希望大家佩戴啦。如果佩戴普通口罩嘅時候咧，就最緊要係貼面啦。如果唔係嘅時候咧，就係要戴2個啦嚇。咁呢啲都係專家俾我哋一啲嘅建議，都希望咧市民喺佩戴口罩嘅時候咧都要留意。咁當然亦都係疫苗啦。咁考慮到接種第3劑嘅好處咧，喺符合接種要求嘅情況下咧，電影院嘅顧客咧係可以恢復咧係個別放映院入邊咧係飲食。有關嘅要求咧係主要咧係有2個嘅。第一就係涉及呢個電影院嘅運作嘅所有員工咧係需要接種3劑嘅疫苗，或者咧係持有醫學豁免證明書，或者咧係為已接種咗2劑疫苗嘅康復者。第2個要求咧就係個別放映院入邊咧係同場1次嘅所有入場嘅顧客咧都要接種咗3劑嘅疫苗，除咗咧係12歲以下嘅小童啦，或者係過去3個月內嘅康復者。如果已經接種咗2劑疫苗咧，都可以視作咧係符合入場嘅要求。另外咧喺599G 章下嘅聚集嘅限制咧，由4月21日起，我哋係會解除禁止涉及2戶以上嘅人士喺私人地方進行多戶聚集嘅限制。 而我哋亦都會喺下個星期咧，係向行政會議咧係提交建議，係將公眾地方進行嘅群組聚集嘅人數咧係由2人放寬至到咧係4人。此外咧，昨日大家可能都留意到嚇，商務及經濟發展局局長咧都提過啦，係會恢復咧唔超過30人嘅本地遊。個前提咧亦都係有2個嘅。第一就係有關嘅員工咧係已經係接種咗3劑嘅疫苗啦，並喺出團當天咧係進行快速抗原檢測。同埋第二就係所有嘅遊客咧都要滿足疫苗通行證下當時適用嘅要求。咁如果咧所有嘅遊客咧都係喺出團當天咧都進行咗快速抗原檢測而陰性嘅話咧，係有關人數嘅限制咧都會咧係放寬至到咧係最多係可以100人。咁同時我哋亦都會延續第599I 章下所有嘅公共交通工具同埋公眾地方佩戴口罩嘅要求。剛才咧公布嘅一啲嘅措施咧，行政長官都講過啦，都可以咧係令到我哋咧係重啟社會同埋咧係經濟嘅活動，市民嘅生活咧係逐步恢復。但係呢個咧係唔係完全冇風險嘅嚇，咁所以咧我哋都必須強調，現時咧每一日新增嘅陽性檢測個案咧個數目咧仍然咧都係處於唔係一個低嘅水平嚇，都係一個高嘅水平。咁疫情咧都未完全緩和嘅，咁所以咧市民咧都係需要遵守個人啦同埋環境嘅衛生，同埋咧係所有適用嘅社交距離措施，大家咧都係唔好鬆懈嚇。咁未接種疫苗嘅當然啦。無論係第1劑、第2劑、第3劑，或者甚至乎係第4劑咧，都係應該盡量咧係接種，令香港咧係早日咧回復常態嚇。多謝。
好，請劉處長。
多謝行政長官。各位市民、各位傳媒嘅朋友嚇，大家好。因應首階段放寬社交距離嘅措施咧，康文署咧會喺下個星期4，即係4月21號開始咧，就重新開放部分嘅康樂同埋文化場地嘅。喺呢個康樂場地方面咧，重開嘅設施咧係包括室內嘅體育設施，即係譬如體育館啦、壁球中心啦等等。咁另外咧就戶外嘅體育設施，譬如話係運動場啦、網球場、草地滾球場、足球場、籃球場等等，同埋其他嘅戶外康樂設施。譬如話戶外嘅兒童遊樂設施、健身設施等等，市民咧可以喺呢個星期六，即係4月16號開始咧，就使用康體通喺網上預訂重開嘅設施。喺運動嘅時候咧，每一組嘅參與者咧係以4人為限，但係喺進行對制比賽或者對賽訓練嘅時候咧，每個場地嘅人數上限就應該係遵照相關運動嘅比賽規則。我舉一個例，譬如話係打籃球，咁喺籃球比賽咧可以係5個人對5個人，同埋咧相關嘅裁判，即係一個正式比賽嘅人數。咁喺第一個階段運動嘅時候咧，運動員咧係需要佩戴口罩嘅。部分嘅康樂設施包括公眾泳灘、公眾游泳池、水上活動中心同埋燒烤場等等咧，喺呢個階段咧係暫時係唔會開放。但係啲水上嘅運動咧，我哋希望可以喺第2個階段咧係開放嘅。喺文化設施方面咧，公共嘅圖書館、博物館、演出場地係會重開嘅，人數係唔可以超過可以容納人數嘅一半。由於部分嘅康文署嘅場地咧，而家仍然係用作抗疫用途，或者係進行緊一啲場地嘅改善工程，咁所以咧係未能開放嘅。咁所以請市民咧都留意，我哋今日稍後咧會有一個新聞稿，同埋咧會喺網上咧係公布一啲詳細嘅安排嘅。咁所有進入康文署體育場所或者康文署嘅室內場地嘅人士咧，都係需要符合呢個疫苗通行證實施嘅相關要求嘅。咁市民咧喺到場之前咧，就請預先就將呢個疫苗通行證或者醫學豁免證明書嘅二維碼咧，儲喺有關嘅流動應用程式， 或者亦都可以帶備印有二維碼嘅紙本嘅記錄，咁方便咧喺入場嘅時候咧係掃描呢個二維碼，咁就可以加快進場嘅流程嘅。或者我介紹咁多，多謝各位。
好，唔該，睇下大家有咩提問。
好啦，依家係提問時間。想發問嘅記者朋友啦，請先舉手，嗌到你嘅時候啦，請講出你代表嘅傳媒機構名稱，然後用我哋俾你嘅咪咧去發問嘅。首先係我嘅右手邊粉紅色衫嗰位女記者。
你好，凤凰卫视记者提问。刚刚提到说呢，电影院也就是戏院会重新开放。那刚刚也说，餐厅员工要求每3天要进行1次快速检测。所以现在呢，戏院员工是否也要进行快速检测呢？目前是否有在考虑，包括进出的一些顾客也要求进行快速检测？那么还有一个问题是呢，当前这个新增确诊病例数目前还是维持在1000多例左右。那么现在决定要放宽社交距离限制，会否担心疫情出现反弹，使得好不容易取得的抗疫成果最后是功亏一篑呢？如果在放宽之后又出现疫情反弹现象，会否再考虑要收紧限制？那么现在我们也观察到，现在国际社会也开始出现奥密克戎的新型的变种病毒，包括像是内地和台湾也出现了疫情反弹现象。现在港府是否会担心新一波疫情的爆发？对于迎接或是防范第6波疫情到来，现在港府是否已经在做好准备了呢？
谢谢你的问题，我回答这个第2部分的问题，然后请这个陈局长回答第1部分跟第3部分有关于变种的病毒的考虑。我在刚才我开始我都说了每一次做这个要放宽或者是要限制的抗疫的决定都是非常困难的。它不单是一个公共卫生的议题，还是一个跟社会发展、经济发展、民生的需要、民情是有关系的所以在过去2年多，我常常说，这个要是只是一个公共卫生的这个问题，就很简单做一个决定今天还有1000多的个案，就什么都不开但是这个不可以因为我们700多万的市民，他要生活他要到学校去上课，那他还是要营业所以我们每一次都要做一个平衡。那平衡的大前提是保障这个市民的生命身体健康这个是毫无疑问的。但是在过了一段时间，我们见到香港的确诊的个案已经从高峰的时候7万多一天，到今天是1000多。要是特区政府还是这个不放宽，我觉得这个对香港的社会经济的影响很大。对于香港的市民，他能不能在这个坚守这些措施，都有一个很大的疑问。所以这个最终是一个平衡的决定，也是一个风险的管理我们风险管理也已经做了1年多的工作了，包括疫苗的接种。现在除了孩子以外，3岁到11岁以外了，其他的这个成年人已经打了92.5%是一个很高的这个比例。我们这个也进入了这个第2针、第3针现在已经开打第4针。我本人下午我就去打这个第4针的疫苗所以这个是我们做的这个防范的工作那么另外当然有一个疫苗的通行证，那么也要求要进入这些稍后放宽的场所的人，他必须要打了针才能进去。在一些风险比较高一点的这个场所或者是活动，我们有要求需要有快速的抗原的检测。好像今天公布的，由于餐饮的地方是比较高风险的，因为顾客要脱了口罩来这个吃饭，所以我们认为在这个地方，虽然他的员工都已经全部打针的要求是已经有的，以前都有的员工餐饮的员工要打针餐饮的处所的顾客进去也要打针现在这个额外的要求是每3天 这个员工还要做一个快速的抗原的检测啊。所以有了这些保障，这个应该是在一个风险可以管控的情况下，让香港的社会逐步恢复一个正常。好像我刚才给各位的数字，在2年多的抗疫过程里边，很多要营业的处所已经给我们关闭了200多天、300天。我们尽管是用了6000亿元来提供各类型的支援的措施，但是最终企业希望见到的是可以营业不是每次到政府去拿一些这个补贴所以我觉得今天我们做的决定是一个经过了详细的考虑的决定，也是应该是符合整体香港最大的利益我现在请陈局长讲讲这个有关于这个病毒变种的情况。
好，谢谢行政长官，谢谢您的问题。病毒的变种的问题，当然我们就是一级尤其是在我们一些输入的个案，我们都要在卫生防护中心跟我们的专家都在做这个genome sequencing， 就是这个基因的一个分析，就是看看我们香港现在有没有这些的情况。当然如果是有的话，也要看那个风险是什么样，因为变种就每天都是其实在发生，这是最重要，就是是不是对我们这个变种的病毒对我们的风险是怎么样，它的传播力跟Omicron 是不是一样还是不同。第三就是现在我们的疫苗是不是能够保护到这些变种病毒，所以就是我们就是每天都在监测这些问题。当然我们对刚才行政长官也讲过了，一方面我们社会要复常，第二方面呢就是有的风险也一定要管控起来，所以现在的放宽都是有序有条件，也是大家合作的一个情况。第二呢，就是现在我们好像一些开放的一些处所，他们在过去2年其实也做了很多的工作，就是一些风险的管理空气的一个换气的一个要求等等，这些都是把这个风险就是管理得好。第三就是现在我们就是对另外一波有没有预案呢？其实是有的，因为我们都觉得如果是有一些反弹的话，当然我们现在都希望有很多不同的措施。刚才行政长官已经讲过了，就是在这些处所里面的管控市民的配合还有就是我们做的检测等等，这些都是一些管控的措施。我们尽力会做，也是不会放松。但是如果有的时候，当然我们现在的能力检测的能力、隔离设施的能力跟我们人手我們的病床等等這些我們都有準備的。謝謝。
下一位記者嘅提問，我嘅左手邊後排粉紅色口罩嘅記者。
早晨TVB 㗎，咁首先想針對住啱啱即係講到放寬嗰度咧，就想問翻啦，即係戲院嗰度咧就話要打3針先至可以食嘢啦。咁但係咧嗰個康復碼咧，即係局長之前就喺立法會講過話下個月先至出，咁即係其實康復者有機會喺呢個月底係咪都未必能夠即係咁可以咁暢通咁去到戲院或者啲地方？點解唔配合咗個疫苗通行證，下個月一齊3針嘅時候先至去推行呢件事，話俾佢哋食嘢或者係呢一刻可以2針先呢？咁另外同埋都係食肆嗰度啦，咁點解再一次地就係酒吧又係唔再開呢？因為過往其實咁多次關閉任何處所，每一次業界都會行出嚟話，點解我哋同樣地酒吧又唔開得呢？佢哋只不過係有啲餐廳有酒牌都可以呢。同埋都想問翻，即係如果呢幾日長假期之後真係有一個反彈嘅話， 係咪有機會20號、19號都真係會再一次話俾大家聽，呢啲場所唔再開住呢？另外想問翻呢強檢嗰個全民強檢，因為而家已經復課啊，所有地方你都騰空晒啦，竹篙灣一啲檢疫措施都比較少人用啦。咁其實而家個數字未來1、2個禮拜可能真係跌到3位數啦。有冇機會真係呢一刻係一個好時機，應該去做一個全民強檢呢，而唔好再錯過呢個時機，因為有啲專家都有講過話，如果再唔做，就未必能夠將個數字壓到落去，有機會個疫情呢係橫向式咁樣去做，跟住變咗第6波。其實呢啲決定係咪而家呢一刻真係要去做，而唔係留俾下一屆政府呢？或者係會唔會如果真係一旦唔做強檢嘅時候，真係維持橫行去到第6波嘅時候，現屆政府要唔要負責呢？唔該。
請阿陳局長回答頭嗰2、3條題目。
好啊，多謝行政長官。第一咧就係關於電影院嗰度啦。其實咧而家嘅做法咧就係一啲如果係已經康復者咧，其實佢係可以有佢嘅紙本嘅一啲嘅證明咧，其實咧都可以處理到嘅。當然詳細嘅情況咧就會商務及經濟發展局咧，佢哋稍後咧都會有一啲詳情咧係會公布嘅。第二咧喺酒吧嚟講咧，其實我哋今次都多次講啦嚇，我哋嘅放寬咧係第一有序，第二咧係有條件，第三咧係有監察同埋咧係有預案。而我哋大家點解我哋要分幾個階段咧？都係咁解嚇，因為咧我哋正如頭先行政長官都講咗，我哋而家嘅放寬咧，其實我哋嘅數字咧都唔係話完全咧係好低嘅嚇，嗰個數字咧都係而家都係有超過1000，咁所以咧我哋都係必須咧係要小心，咁所以係如果全部係所有嘅係一齊放寬嘅話咧，無論喺人流啊，或者喺嗰個風險管控嗰度咧，都唔係一個最好嘅做法。咁所以咧，我哋都係有序、有條件同埋分階段咁去處理。咁當然咧，都會係睇返風險嘅嚇。至於喺長假期嗰度咧，會唔會有機會反彈咧？其實我諗我哋都多次呼籲啦，大家其實而家咧第一個數字咧都係高啦，第二咧就係社區仍然咧都會有傳播鏈嘅，咁所以希望大家咧都係能夠唔好放鬆，同埋咧係自律啦。咁所以呢個都係需要抗疫咧係需要大家合作去做到嗰個係冇呢個反彈，或者係將呢個反彈嘅風險咧係減少，呢個咧都係要大家咧係一齊去做。咁當然明白大家都係會有一啲抗疫疲勞嘅，咁所以咧我諗我哋都多次講啦，就係都係如果係能夠克制一啲嚇我哋如果係去街嘅話，咁啊減少嘅時間啊，減少嘅次數啊。呢一啲咧都係會一方面可能都係會舒緩一啲嘅疲勞，但係另外一方面咧又都係大家留意唔好鬆懈嗰個嘅做法咯嚇。
好，下一位記者嘅提問，或者後排綠色衫呢個女記者。
Good morning. I'm from Hong Kong International Business Channel. So the Easter holiday starts tomorrow. People flow on streets might increase, leading to a COVID case rebound. Has the scheduled dates of relaxing social distancing measures on April 21st taken this potential risk into account? Does setting the relaxation dates on next Thursday after the Easter holiday contradict with its aim? Is it possible that the relaxation could be suddenly halted after the Easter break and before April 21st? And the second question is, will there be any circuit breaker system for the relaxation once if COVID cases surge in certain premises? If yes, to what extent, if the number of cases goes up again, the premises will be asked to close again? Who has the power to decide and make such order? Is it the Secretary for Food and Health or the Chief Executive? The last question is, for those who has taken their first jab but infected before getting their second jab and has a 3-month exemption from getting the second dose, what will be the arrangement for them in the cinemas and also restaurants? Thank you.
I'll answer the first two questions and then invite the Secretary for Food and Health to address the vaccination issue. yes, we will start the Easter holiday tomorrow. And after the Easter holiday, schools will resume their class-to-class learning from the 19th of April. And the first phase of relaxation on the 21st of April will go ahead. I don't think we would be caught in a situation that we need to put on hold what we have announced this morning about the first phase relaxation. Because I'll come to the point about the precautionary measures and the capacity building that we have done over the past 3 months, which enable us to manage a possible risk of an rebound in cases. But of course, you remember that when I mentioned about relaxation of social distancing measures on the 21st of March, it was supposed to take place in a gradual, orderly manner through 3 stages over a period of 3 months. So we have not gone into details this morning about the second phase and the third phase. Exactly, is because we need to monitor the situation after the Easter holiday and also to take account of possible scenarios of a sudden increase in confirmed cases. So that's the position we are taking. It is not a matter of contradiction. It is a question of meeting the aspirations of Hong Kong people and a large number of business premises which have not had a chance to do business for a very long period of time. So this is what I repeatedly said in our anti-epidemic work. It is not simply just a public health issue. We have to take account of the social and economic needs. In the case of school resumption, we have to take into account the mental health of the young children. So it is not a decision. And you asked about what is the authority to decide. The authority is a steering committee chaired by myself within the Hong Kong SAR government, which has been set up since the epidemic hit us in early 2020. I think it was set up in January, late January 2020, and has gone on throughout the last 2 years and 3 months with myself as the chair, and all participants, all principal officials are participating, as well as some heads of department whenever we have a particular issue that we need to tackle. But statute, in terms of legal provision, the order is to be made by the Secretary for Food and Health under Cap 599F as far as scheduled premises are concerned. But every decision is made by a very high-level committee, taking account of all the factors that I have just mentioned. Now, we could not give you an exact figure of what we would do when the daily number of cases hit a certain number. Because in public health terms, it's more important and relevant to look at the trend rather than a daily figure, which could be affected by various situations. So clearly, we are now trending down. It's not only the daily confirmed cases that has dropped by over 90%, but all the other indicators that we have been monitoring from the sewage tests to the number of positive cases discovered in restriction testing declaration, to the overall positive rate of some 80,000 PCR tests taken every day at the various venues, all indicators were trending down, which represents almost over 90% decrease from the 21st of March when I announced this plan to gradually open up the Hong Kong society. On the other hand, at this point in time and into the near future, Hong Kong is much, much better prepared to handle another wave. Nobody wants a 6th wave, but if a 6th wave hit us, we are now much, much better prepared. One is because of the level of vaccination. Our problem now is with the elderly, which still have 30% unvaccinated, and with the children between 3 and 11, we still have about 35% unvaccinated. But this is much better than end of last year already. And then we have far more facilities to handle confirmed cases, ranging from home support teams to the community isolation facilities to holding centers for elderly and community treatment center of the hospital authority, and also a designated COVID-19 hospital beds in the hospital authority. So you have heard us saying that now everything is preparing, is in a very good preparatory mode. The rooms, the beds, the vaccines are all waiting to tackle any possible surge in situations. So with this greater capacity, it would be very, very unreasonable and perhaps unacceptable to the majority of Hong Kong people to continue to close all these premises and allow people no chance to lead a normal life. I don't think that is what Hong Kong people want, let alone the premises operators, some of whom will be disappointed by what we have announced this morning because they are not in the first phase of reopening, just like bars that somebody has asked about. So this is a very balanced and prudent approach in order to meet the needs of Hong Kong. About jabs.
Okay, thank you. So about recovered patient and vaccination, and also the requirements in these premises as per vaccine pass. First of all, I think we can simply look at if you are a recovered patient or recovered person. It's like you have taken one dose of vaccine, okay? So if you have been infected, then you are given 6 months to do your jabs in terms of meeting the requirement for vaccine pass. So for those who have not had any vaccination, and if you are a recovered patient, then it's like you have already got one dose. And similarly, you know, it goes on. If you have one jab, then it means that you have 2 jabs. If you have done 2 jabs, then that means you have you meet the requirement for 3 jabs. But of course, one have to look at the vaccine pass requirements. And that is, if it is 2 jabs or 3 jabs, and then, you know, one would have to follow, you know, that one, but you are given time to do that, okay? Second is how to do it. Right now, because we are still working on very closely with ITB on the digitalizing this recovered patient QR code, then right now I think we accept paper. So that is when you have certification or, you know, any certification you can get in terms of certifying you are a recovered patient, like discharge from hospital or, you know, isolation order, etc., etc. Then you can show to the people who are checking on the vaccine pass. But I think in the near future, when that digitalized model is being prepared, then, you know, you would be able to do it within, you know, the vaccine pass or your QR code when you show it to the operator or the people who are checking, you know, on these vaccine pass. Thank you.
全民強檢咧就係我哋冇放棄嘅，就食物及衞生局局長我哋早前都喺立法會都係代表政府咧表達呢個立場，但係咧都係要講時機同埋講能力，咁所以呢件工作咧我係一直都係委託咗政制及內地事務局局長咧嚟到去處理同埋計劃，咁所以到適當嘅時候咧會同大家公佈嚇。
下一位記者提問，最前排綠色衫用電腦嗰位男記者。
係你好啊，信報嘅咁想問翻林太啦，其實即係資審會嗰個替補成員其實點解都仲未公佈呢？因為你其實上個禮拜就話即係今個禮拜會公佈，但係今個禮拜都就嚟去到尾聲啦。咁同埋就係咪因為預見到可能都淨係得一個參選人，所以就覺得即係剩低嘅成員其實都可以足夠去處理呢？跟住就係想問呢，即係政務司司長懸空嘅問題，其實即係除咗而家等中央通知之外，阿林太其實你會唔會都主動向中央去跟進翻即係有關跟進嘅事項呢？而政務司司長佢本身去做主席嘅扶貧委員會嘅青年發展委員會，甚至乎政策委員會，其實而家由邊個去主持呢？係咪林太你呢？咁政務司司長出缺咗之後，其實有冇開過會？有冇影響到一啲相關嘅政策研究或者甚至乎立法嘅進度呢？唔該。
雖然唔係關於抗疫嘅問題，不過我都好樂意回答嘅。第一呢，就係我哋今日將會公布行政長官已經委任咗候選人資格審查委員會嘅主席同埋一位額外嘅成員嚇。呢件工作嘅重要性呢，並不取決於有幾多位參選人嘅嚇。無論係1位、2位、3位或者好多位嘅參選人呢，我哋都係咁認真去進行呢個當日完善選舉制度裏邊嘅重要一環，就係每一位參選人呢都要經過一個資格審查委員會，係確認咗佢係一個愛國者呢，先能夠參加香港嘅公共選舉。今日公布由我委任咗嘅主席呢，係財政司司長陳茂波，接替咗政務司司長李家超成為呢個候選人資格審查委員會嘅主席。另一位嘅官守成員，因為早前民政事務局局長徐英偉呢亦都係辭咗職。另一位嘅官守成員呢，係教育局局長楊潤雄。咁所以整個資格審查候選人資格審查委員會嘅組成呢，仍然係1位主席、3位官守成員同埋3位非官守嘅成員嚇。相信喺復活節假期之後呢，會馬上召開會議嚟到去審查收到嘅參選人嘅提名嚇，然後就進入去一個候選人競選嘅階段嚇。法律規定呢，係喺提名期結束嘅7日之內，即係4月23日或之前呢，候選人資格審查委員會將會係作出一個公佈。第二個問題係關於政務司司長出缺之後嘅安排。早前我都講咗俾大家聽㗎啦，就係無論係用基本法第48條第5款通過我提名中央人民政府任命，抑或係用我哋一般係有司局長放假署任嘅安排呢，採取邊一種嘅方法，我都係一併交咗俾中央人民政府考慮嘅。咁早前呢，就根據我嘅建議呢，國務院已經喺今年嘅4月7日就係法定免去咗李家超先生嘅政務司司長嘅職務啦。咁我亦都而家收到通知啦，就由於現屆嘅特區政府呢，只係剩返唔夠3個月嘅任期，所以中央人民政府喺呢段期間呢，將不再任命政務司司長。換句話說，係唔會援引基本法第48條第5段嘅程序啦嚇。咁因為一併考慮咗另外處理問題啊嘛，咁所以我徵詢咗中央人民政府嘅意見之後呢，亦都唔打算作任何署任嘅安排，換係出缺。出缺之後嘅安排呢，我仍然係可以好有信心講呢，係對特區政府嘅工作係冇乜大嘅影響嘅，因為政務司司長有部分係法定嘅功能，但係唔多嚇，即係要按住法律行使嘅職能呢係唔多嘅。就如果係需要行使呢，我亦都可以援引我哋法律嘅第1章，即係呢個釋義及通則條例， 去指派另一位嘅公職嘅人員嚟到去擔任嗰個原本由政務司司長按住香港法律需要執行嘅任務啊。咁啊，早前已經係做咗一次咧，就有關於喺599章呢啲規例下需要行使豁免權咧，已經係委任咗另一位嘅主要官員咧嚟到去行使呢個嘅職務。所以如果今日又需要行使呢啲法定嘅職務咧，就會係再委任或者係叫direct by order， 即係以公告嘅形式嚟到去委任另一位嘅官員咧嚟去擔行呢啲職務。但正如我所講係唔多嘅嚇，政務司司長個職位出現喺香港嘅法律行使一啲嘅權力咧係唔多嘅嚇，大部分都係喺行政長官嗰度嘅啫嚇。咁如果佢嘅慣常即係 by convention 行使嘅職能咧係嚟自行政長官，即係我授權嘅咧，咁當然我可以收翻呢個權，就由行政長官咧嚟到去做呢個工作嗱。有一啲咧就唔係法定嘅職能，係喺特區政府裏邊擔任一個統籌嘅角色，因為畢竟我哋有13個局啦，咁好多時有啲跨局嘅工作要統籌。你提到應該有3個嚇，其實就唔止嘅，呢啲工作就更加多嚇。一個就係政府內部嘅政策委員會，英文叫做 Policy Committee， 呢個而家係由我擔任主席，我哋已經開咗會添啦嚇。另外咧就有扶貧委員會、青年發展委員會，亦都有好多咧係同抵港嘅總領事嘅初次嘅會面啦。以至到同內會嘅主席、副主席嘅每週嘅會面咧，都已經一係由我本人，一係由我指派嘅同事咧係負責。譬如同立法會每週立法會內務委員會嘅主席、副主席每週嘅例行嘅會議咧，我就已經係指派咗特首辦主任陳國基咧係負責，咁亦都已經係同李慧瓊主席同埋馬逢國副主席咧係召開咗會議，所以基本上係有晒充足嘅安排。多謝。
好，我哋問多最後一位記者嘅提問。後排白色衫嗰位女記者。
係3位好 Now TV 嘅，首先想問翻放寬措施嗰度啦。我見今日咧都冇提到第2階段同第3階段啦。其實嗰個路線圖係咪即係仲好似之前咁冇變到嘅咧？定係即係擔心嗰個反彈嘅風險，令到即係嗰個第2、第3階段唔可以逐個月咁樣放寬咧？同埋政府有冇話設定一個硬指標，可能去到增加翻幾多個案啦？一啲嘅即係放寬嘅措施就要剎停，或者係要再收緊呢？另外就係想問戲院而家可能即係都要分你打齊3針先俾你喺入面食嘢啦，有冇諗過嗰個執行嗰個複雜性嘅問題咧？一啲證明其實有冇話特別要點樣做咧？最後都想問翻而家話即係決定政務司司長呢個位就繼續喺今屆任期內就唔再任命啦，會唔會都覺得係一個比較罕見啲嘅做法咧？定係即係其實好多疫情上嘅嘢都要CS 去統籌啦？會唔會擔心好似冇咗個主帥咁樣啦？同埋即係咪都覺得可能中央暫時喺現屆政府覺得暫時未有一個比較合適嘅人選去做署任做 CS 咁樣咧？唔該。
第一個問題咧，頭先我都講咗啦，冇錯，喺3月21號咧嘅路線圖，我哋係希望咧可以分3個階段3個月有序咁去放寬絕大部分嘅社交距離措施嚇。但係唔包括即係取消戴口罩。我相信戴口罩將要持續一段嘅時間啦嚇。咁今日公布主要係第1階段嚇，咁但係如果今日有啲處所唔屬於第1階段嘅重開，咁即係佢要等第2階段甚至第3階段。咁呢個正正咧就係頭先幾位記者朋友都擔心喺復活節假期之後，特別又放寬咗措施，學校又復課，會唔會有一個好明顯嘅反彈啊？咁所以咪就係要再觀察個情況，我哋就會適時咧同大家公佈而家可以進入去第2階段啦，有一啲嘅處所咧可以開。我哋其實係好想俾好多嘅即係確定性嗰個嘅業界， 但係因為嚟緊真係呢幾日假期咧，我哋係有一定嘅擔心，會唔會好似農曆新年假期咁太多呢啲嘅聚會咧，而係產生咗一個嘅不良嘅後果啦。但係唔可能做一個好硬嘅指標。但當然你話翻去5萬個案一日，咁我諗全城都會焦慮。喺咁嘅情況之下，係咪仲要放呢？不過呢個唔係一個指標，我唔想聽日見到報紙個報導咧，就係話呢個5萬係一個數字啊。我只係話俾你聽咧，係冇硬指標，要睇趨勢嚇。我哋等咗呢幾個月都係睇緊疫情嘅趨勢。香港嘅第5波疫情咧喺3月3日達峰嘅嚇，3月3日距離而家咧已經係個多月啦嚇。咁所以一定係睇住個趨勢，又睇住我哋其他監測嘅指標會唔會有一個突變，令到我哋認為咧喺香港嘅情況咧又有一個好大嘅影響。但係由於我頭先講咧，我哋喺第5波裏邊將各方面嘅能力都係大幅提升，我哋唔應該用翻第5波之前嗰種嘅睇法嚇，應該亦都係多考慮，既然有咗能力嘅提升，就可以相對嚟到有能力去處理一個高啲嘅數字，就盡量唔好令到我哋嘅放寬嘅政策咧，再係喺一段好短嘅時間咧係需要大幅度嘅收緊。呢個就係牽涉到整體香港經濟同埋社會嘅需要嚇。就講開呢個經濟同埋社會嘅需要咧，我都係想題外話講一樣嘢，就係早2日喺呢度問我關於我點樣睇香港嘅航空樞紐。我唔知大家有冇留意嚇，最近公布咗咧，2021年香港嘅空運係全球第一，即係證明香港嘅堅韌性係好強，而係每一個階段政府如果能夠推出一啲適合嘅政策咧，我哋能夠令到香港嘅經濟發展仲有一個好嘅前景。2021年我哋係重新奪回全球第一呢個嘅空運嘅地位，係當年應該係500萬公噸嘅貨物係經香港嚟到去處理嘅嚇。咁所以大家應該對香港有信心，我哋適時調整呢啲政策，兼顧到社會發展、經濟發展、市民接受程度嘅需要咧，就能夠揾到一條好嘅出路嚇。就第二個問題，關於戲院，其實係俾多一個選擇嘅啫。商務及經濟發展局係同戲院業傾過，佢哋係好想爭取喺嗰個戲院裏邊，因為而家啲戲院係分好多個 house 噶嘛嚇，佢哋係好希望咧有翻一啲嘅即係飲食嚇。咁所以呢個係額外加俾佢嘅一個選擇，佢完全唔做冇問題嘅，成個戲院幾個 houses 咧都唔可以食嘢啊。但如果佢有呢個能力，而且亦都願意去執行啊，因為呢個係需要即係主動去執行嘅嚇。咁佢就可以喺其中一個院裏邊咧，就話入去嘅睇嘅觀眾咧係需要出示佢係打咗針。打足3針嚇，咁咧佢就可以有呢個嘅額外嘅對待啦嚇。但係唔係一個令到佢嘅營運更加困難，所以係一個選擇俾佢去做。執行上據我所知咧，就係佢哋係願意去執行。但如果佢覺得有執行困難咧，佢可以就唔選擇用呢樣嘢。咁戲院就照開返啦，不過就係冇得入戲院食嘢咁解啫。最後係關於政務司司長出缺，咁無可否認係一個好少見嘅情況嚟嘅，因為一般嚟講，我哋係有署任安排噶嘛，就算本人如果行開2-3日去內訪外訪咧，都係有署任安排嘅。咁但係徵詢咗中央人民政府嘅意見咧，佢認為係唔作署任係適合，咁我都唔反對嚇。可能其中嘅考慮就係因為今日嘅政務司司長今日嘅行政長官曾經擔任過4年半嘅政務司司長，睇嚟都係可以兼顧得到嘅嚇。尤其是疫情，我諗呢2年幾大家見嘅都係我嚇。 而我剛才講咧，喺2020年1月，我哋已經成立咗呢個高層次嘅抗疫嘅督導委員會，都係一直由我擔任主持嘅。當然，政務司司長如果有人填補咧，係可以分擔一啲，譬如要去統籌下一啲部門做執行嘅工作，政策嘅決定一定喺我主持嘅督導委員會㗎啦。你執行嘅工作，佢可以開一啲另外嘅工作小組，或者係去同內地對接下，去傾當舊年嘅時候傾通關，今年嘅時候咧喺深圳對接下，即係點樣可以有啲專班，咁係可以幫到行政長官嘅。但係對整個疫情嘅防控同埋工作嘅推展咧，都係由行政長官嚟到去負責。多謝大家。
好啦，今日嘅記者會時間差唔多啦。我諗我哋今日都冇呢個報道